Just few minutes for markets to close. Let's head across to Neeraj to find out how exactly the closing today is panning out. And Neeraj, some respite. We're snapping the 4-day losing streak today.
Not going to four figures as yet.
Yes.
As yet is very, very important. Let's wait and watch if we even do go or no. But yeah, 0.5% or thereabouts for the Nifty. Not a bad day. The Nifty Bank too, while volatile and was trading almost 0.7% down sometime in the last half an hour, 45 minutes, is actually not closing all that poorly. So it's been a decent day of trade. Actually, sorry, let me get the mid caps and the small caps too on the screen. I'm in a bit of a hurry today. Just looking at the green on the screen. The mid caps 0.5%, small caps about 1/3%. It's not turned out to be a bad day, even though the market breadth may have looked slightly wobbly. All in all, it's turned out to be a good day of trade. Let's look at individual names. And quite unlike yesterday, a fair bit of green on the screen. Tata Steel, Hindalco, sale from not from the Nifty really, but that metal space is making its presence felt today. Pharma has bounced back in a manner of speaking. So Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's, Cipla, which was down and out, has also picked up some steam. And then IT has been strong throughout the trading day. So Infosys, Wipro, TCS, a couple of others outside. Tech Mahindra, not on the Sensex, but on the Nifty, is doing really well for itself too. And not too many losers. Maybe a couple of private banks, the ICICI, yes, and the Kotak Mahindra Bank and HDFC Bank. So private banks are under a small spot of selling today. Nothing too alarming, but that's probably that only clutch of names which has looked weak in trade. What about the broader markets, Navneet? And we'll probably get a sense of whether the breadth has improved or not, but fair bit of activity nevertheless.
That's right, Neeraj. We had certain stocks which were beaten down and they bounced back in today's trading session. I want to start out with EIH Associated. That stock came off its high levels that one has seen in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So finally, EIH today closed with gains of nearly 11 to 12%. Dhanalakshmi Bank was surprisingly pretty active in trade, and that also saw gains of nearly 10 to 11%. As you can see the chart on your screen, closing around the day's high mark. Marico, we don't see that sort of activity in this counter on daily basis. It's also in the derivatives market. Huge amount of surge was seen in terms of open interest build-up for March futures. So fresh longs were seen for this one, up 5%. Stocks which have been beaten down in the recent past, like Reliance Infra, they bounced back today. So Reliance Infra made registered gains of nearly 6 to 7%. Metal counters, Steel Authority, Jindal Steel and Power also recorded good gains in today's session. And NIT Tech, a counter which was seeing profit booking in the last 2 trading session around the mark of 900. Once again, that buying emerged and huge amount of OI build up seen. So fresh longs once again emerging for NIT Tech. On the losing side, couple of stocks. Rani Holdings was pretty weak, so that saw cuts of nearly between that actually closed at day's low, but there was a bounce back towards the end of the session. Gujarat State Petronet was also pretty weak, and the graphite makers which were active in yesterday's session, Graphite India as well as HEG, both of them saw some bit of profit booking and they were down in today's session. From the Realty pack, DB Realty was down nearly 4 to 5%, Neeraj.
That's all in all, not a bad day of trade. This is the picture at close, and fair bit of green on the heat map. I'm certain about 0.5% higher for the Nifty 50. The heat map should come up on your screen. It was even Stevens, so slightly better. And now you see a fair bit of green on the screen, and dominated by, as we've spoken about, some of the tech names and commodity names. The contributors will come up, and save for maybe a Reliance and the private banks, there were not too many losers. Yeah, so ICICI Bank, Reliance and HDFC Bank, those bring up the losers list. Not too many stocks otherwise. Here, IT gave a lot of support. So Infi, TCS, Tech Mahindra on the Nifty has led predominantly the gainers list. There were some metal names out here, but obviously not heavyweight enough to feature in this list. HDFC, the principal contributor, up about 10 or contributing about 10 odd points. I'm interested in the market breadth though. At the start of the show, it was firmly in the red. Just a bit of a convergence towards the close. Still 2:3 in favor of the declines. It doesn't look like the breadth of a day that we've had today, Navneet.
Right. Neeraj, I guess the most active mid-cap stocks which were beaten down bounced back, but overall the market breadth remained weak because there was no fresh buying which is being seen in the markets. Even if you look at your large caps among the Nifty constituents or the mid-cap stocks, majority of them maybe could be seeing some bit of short covering in today's session.
Yeah, and the cash volumes too, as was the case yesterday, I think not too buoyant. Just before we get the final comment from our guest, just bring up, actually we'll get the European markets anyways with our London correspondent as well, but just get maybe what the world markets are up to. Oh, they've come off a little bit. from the levels that they were trading at. So, well, a dull day for the European markets as well. Anyways, final thoughts from all our experts. And Amar, to you first. Considering what we've done today, is it a determinant of what could happen over the next few days, or it's very difficult to predict any kind of upsides to these markets right now?
I would say that the low that Nifty made today, that should really hold. And also taking out that low or the 10,000 psychological mark would have a serious negative impact, could have a serious negative impact on the market. So I would say that the market could go in for some consolidation, but yes, on the upside again, 10,200, 250, that's going to act as an immediate resistance for that. And the market will try to reach out to that level as well. But what we need to remember is that we have the FOMC meet also today and tomorrow. So that is going to have an impact on global markets and our markets. So that would be one of the drivers impacting our markets. But technically speaking, 10,000 to 10,050 should act as a short-term support. And on the upside, 10,200 to 250, that would be an immediate zone of resistance.
Sachithanan, what about you? Your closing thoughts? Let's say if we get another gap up of 20, 30 points in tomorrow's session, how would you use that?
Well, as we discussed, if you look at the 180-minute scale, which is the intraday scale of Nifty, it has been oscillating within the downward sloping channel. And today, we have respected the lower bound of the channel and it has moved up. So I think the next trigger from here on, where the confirmation may set in, is around 160. So 10,160, if you look at this particular level in tomorrow's session, and if Nifty manages to hold this particular level, then probably we may see a good short covering rally, which may lead the Nifty towards a 10,400, 10,360 zone, which is the upper end of this particular sloping channel. So we are optimistic right now. I think 10,050 is one particular level that should hold on. In case if this particular level is violated, then the psychological level of 10,000 may also breach on a very severe note, and we may see a substantial drag on the index. But I think so far the closing is healthy. The next trigger is 10,160. In case if we see it, managing tomorrow's trading session above this particular level, probably we are in for a short covering move towards 10,400 then.
Okay, Amar as well as Sachithanan, many thanks, gentlemen, for joining in today and giving us that perspective. Mr. Chokalingam, a common space that is turning out amongst all guests who have come on the channel in the last few days is cement. Almost everybody is coming out is saying that that's one space that they're bullish on. Are you bullish as well? And if so, what stocks within this pocket do you like the most?
No, unfortunately, I have not started picking up the cement stocks. Of course, I agree with you. The kind of valuation people are chasing for Binani cement, it gives a lot of confidence. But the volume sales, is still in a poor single digit. So one has to look at some cement idea which could be up for sale or acquisition. That's the only way to make money in cement space, not in terms of earning and valuation comfort. So I am still on the job of completing this. So maybe later a few days I would definitely share the idea.
Okay, I guess Shree Cement was pretty active in today's session. That counter saw gains of nearly 2 to 3%. Mr. Chokalingam, we'll leave it at that note. Thanks a lot for joining us today and taking us through your thoughts on the market.